This actually is set right after where the Suicide Squad ended, right?
Right.
Where Peacemaker, who is played by my boy John Cena, right after killing Rick Flag in a gruesome in a particularly gruesome manner, you know what I mean, like shot a glass in the heart basically, and after collecting
No, you're shot in the. No, right. Yeah. Sorry. It was
yeah.
right. A tie. Yeah.
And after collecting a
A
shot,
bullet to the truth.
through the neck by Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba. You know what I mean? Yeah, Peacemaker is at the hospital now, so he's all, mended up and whatnot, right? So yeah, he's released now, and well, he doesn't really go back to Amanda Waller. He actually goes to the character of Clemson Moon, right? So he is, well, how I see him is like sort of like a male version, more dealing with toxic masculinity in a way, but
Right.
real subdued version of Amanda Waller, right? So yeah, basically him, um, you know, Emilia Harcourt, who was in the original movie as well, and
Right.
John Economos, both Argus agents, right? So yes, they three of them together, and they bring in a new recruit by the name of Leota Adebayo, played by
Right.
McGill, Daniel Brooks. By the
Right.
way, congrats, for
Yeah, she got married.
yeah, she got married and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she have a daughter, well, she have a child as well too. So
Right. Right.
yeah, I mean, I always loved her from since Orange is the New
Yeah.
Black days,
Yeah.
right? So
Agreed. Yeah.
yeah, right. So she is part of, she's the newest member in this group, right? So basically, the name of the group is Project Butterfly, right? So they bring in Peacemaker to be, the gunman in this group, right? There's this long running gag in terms of Peacemaker just want to know why is it called Butterfly, right? What's going on, right? But we kind of learn exactly what's going on, right? But like at surface level, it's just these ups, just these missions, right? The ups, right? So it's like, just these individuals that he has to kill, right? So one of them is actually is like the senator, and he has a wife and kids. But from the Peacemaker that we saw in the first film, in the original film, where he was like, I will kill men, women, and children, for the sake of America. No, he's a little bit different. No, he's kind of looking at the world in a different way. So I guess the events at Corto Maltese, changed the way how he
Right.
looked at life, right? Um, which I love how the show touches on, by the way, right? But yeah, he's kind of against that, but through some circumstances, he understands what Project Butterfly is about, and it's really weird and messed up, but it all respects. It's very, 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 very James Gunn, right?
Yeah.
And I'll stop there, right? So we got 3 episodes of this. I
Correct.
actually thought we were gonna get one just the premiere, but I was surprised that HBO Max actually dropped
Three.
three
Yeah.
episodes, right?
Yeah. I thought we were gonna get two, like the first two, just to give us it. But yeah, I take in three.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go
right.
ahead.
Well, for me though, I am digging the hell out of this. I am really digging where the show is going as well. And what one note I had to make about this though is that this is all James Gunn. Trey. This is all James Gunn. And I talk about, like, because it reminds me a lot of a film that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I know it has this cult following, Super,
Right. Right. A
right?
little bit. Yeah.
Whereas, like, because for me, I just can't help but compare it to Kick-Ass, right? Where Kick-Ass had this really hyper stylized, ultra violent approach to, oh, what if superheroes were real? And in the real world, superheroes could get hurt and maimed and get killed, and shit could get real. Now that's to me, what made Kick-Ass good. But there was just a stylish. There's a style to the story that just made it wouldn't, even when things really got grim and brutal and mean spirited now. But I felt with Super now, because they were leaning heavily on the realism aspect. It just kind of made things feel way too dark and way too brutal and way too mean spirited, in my opinion, right? But here I felt he got a even balance in terms of that, right? So one thing I really dug about the show is that it's not as fantastical as the Suicide Squad, though.
Right.
But it does suggest that we could get some fantastical stuff, especially when you actually understand what this whole Project Butterfly thing is, right?
Right. Yeah. But yeah, the first episode you get to see, what his helmet is and what the butterfly thing is, kind of.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
But really for me, what makes this whole show work though is John Cena. He absolutely sells this character though, right? And I just love the fact that I just love how douchey and politically incorrect and crass. And,
Right.
and vile he is now, but it's in this sort of, oh shit, I didn't know I was offending you, boy. I'm sorry,
Right. Yeah. He
that
does have
kind
a
of
kind of
approach now.
a kind of cluelessness to him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what sells it though, because yeah, it's the sort of Cobra Kai thing where it's like, oh, in the 80s we would have let this shit slide, but no,
Right.
no, no.
Right. Yeah.
Not in the 2020s. No, 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 no. Don't cover that, right? Especially the way how he looks at and views women, right? In particular, right? And for me, I feel like what this show really explores very well is, well, toxic masculinity, right? This
Right.
idea that, yeah, you mean, look at me, look at all my biceps and shit. But it's like, no, you have to, it can't be moving this crass and sexist towards people, right? Sorry, towards women, right? And just insensitive to people in general, right?
Right.
I think that's the reason why they have this purposeful 80s rock soundtrack, right? So it makes a lot of sense, right? Because there's all these rock ballads, and it's just kind of taking it back to that era where it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just me just doing whatever I want, right? Banging chicks and all that kind of stuff, right? But to see how old and dated that feels now in the 2020s, right? So
Yeah.
it's like that, right? Also, what was really surprising as well too, was the character of August Smith, right? Played by Robert Patrick, right? That would be that would be Peacemaker's father, right?
Right.
Um,
Who he is in real is actually a pretty interesting thing. Uh,
Yes, that reveal in the closing moments episode. I
season
was
two,
like,
episode two. Yeah.
sorry, episode 2. Sorry, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, this makes sense. This
Yeah.
this makes
Mhm.
sense. This
Right.
because right off the bat, they established this man is a flat out racist, right? Like in the
Yeah.
worst way. Yeah? But I
Yeah.
mean, they play it off for laughs, so because the way how he
Right.
kind of delivers his lines, just like, geez, why, like, you
Yeah.
serious? But it sounds funny because it's him now. But then
Yeah.
that reveal in that episode in season 2 is like, sorry, episode 2 is like, yeah, this makes sense. This
Yeah.
makes sense why he so he is, right? But I feel it's gonna come back really hard on Peacemaker, Joe, because yeah,
Right.
what they also set up too is his relationship with his dad, trying to
Right.
trying to live up to his dad, trying to make him happy, that kind of stuff. It's just like, well, clearly he just doesn't care, right? Eagly. I have to mention Eagly quickly, right?
Right.
Who, by the way, is voiced by none other than D. Bradley Baker, Joe.
Right.
D. Bradley Baker, though, voicing an eagle is brilliant. I wish I could make this up. I love this, right? But yeah, Eagly makes for one of the most adorable, superhero pets slash partners ever. This is the thing I love about this show here. How and it's James Gunn again, right? Kind of paying tribute, but also poking fun at yeah, just old school superhero stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
The superhero must have the animal partner, right? So it's like, yeah, Eagly, right? And how the well, just Peacemaker's outfit in general, even right down to the helmet. There's a joke that they make where it's like, dude, like you really gonna walk around with that helmet? Or I was like, dude, this is my outfit, this is my uniform, as he calls it, right? So I just love how they show this kind of does these sort of nods to, oh, look at how goofy this is, but back in the 70s and 80s, yeah, those were like real characters, right? Also, the character of Vigilante, right? This is his second TV incarnation of Adrian Chase. I remember him from Arrow. He was one of my favorite
Right.
villains of Arrow, right? But here, like, how he's just like just all of other peacemakers. It's like, yo, buddy, what you up to? All that kind of stuff there. You know what I mean? And yeah, he has a how to say, like, I don't want to say a Buddha, but yeah, he is a huge fanboy of Peacemaker. So he's always
Yeah.
like trying to help and all that kind of stuff. But he also adds to the whole toxic masculinity theme of the show as well, too,
Right.
in
Right.
unique ways, right? But because he's just so goofy. Sorry, not even goofy, because he's just so laughable now. It's like, oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah. And I don't know if it's just me, but I felt like he kind of came out. I feel it's intentional too. I feel like he is kind of like the show's equivalent to like a Deadpool. Mainly
Right.
because yeah, you don't see his face and he's
Hardly see
always
his
in
face. Yeah.
costume. Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah.
that, right? And the way how he talks is very sort of that swami way how he talks is very Ryan Reynolds, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The side characters I thought were great as well. Emilia, you understand why she's so hardened. There's actually a great scene involving her in a bar that
Right.
kind of establishes why she's so tough and she's so hardened, and especially why she just does not give a shit at all about Peacemaker. John, I thought that he's just that nerdy guy who, is like, I just want to belong, you know what I mean? But I'm just a tech guy and whatnot. There's actually a great moment in episode 3 where it's like where he has to kind of steps out of his comfort zone. I really dug that. Leota, who's played by Daniel Brooks, I love the characterization they gave her. In the second episode, they make a big reveal. It's like, wow, okay.
Right,
And
yeah,
it makes
right.
sense.
Something
It
about her,
makes
yeah, right,
yeah,
right.
so about it is like, yeah, this
Mhm.
this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense, right? Um and just the side villains as well too. Like I didn't even know who Judo Master, sorry, right? And the moments with him in this though were just flat out hilarious though. But again in true James Gunn style is built around this scenario involving, oh, you think it's all cool to be a superhero, but when shit hits the fan now you realize just how real this is, right? And that's something I love about the show here. He will never stop, he'll just always kind of show you, yeah, this is like just how really rough this is, right? But he doesn't go too far with it, though. He doesn't make it, disturbing or unwatchable, right? But he never hesitates to show you just how real this is, right? And in general, that's what I really dig about the show here so far. It's just this character, who has pretty much these old school 80s inspired ideals. And after this event now where he nearly dies, now kind of looking at the world in a much different in a much different way, sorry, right? You just seeing how he's trying to deal with it. Yes, he's a goof. Yes, he's an asshole, but it's like, yeah, understand why he is, right? And of course, I mean, John Cena just selling the shit out of his character, man. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I am thoroughly enjoying this so far, though.
Right,
The way how the third episode ends, though, like they set it up this real big conceit, though. But
right.
it's we get in former episodes now, so I'm wondering how they're gonna touch on that while they're trying to keep the realism intact. I'm not too sure how it's gonna play out, right? But I
Right.
trust James Gunn. I trust him. Oh, and I forgot to mention one last thing, and then you get to your thoughts, Ricardo. James Gunn really get away with a lot with this boy. The human, particularly the dialogue, just the crass humor and all that kind of stuff too. There's moments in this I was like, wow, wait, this man actually get away with this way. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, this is not no CW show, but it's a
exactly.
TV show, not a movie, Like, wow, this man get away with this way. Like, he get away with content like this
Well, I
way.
mean, it's HBO Max,
Wow,
like not surprised.
it's
As I
crazy. It's
say,
crazy.
it's comparable to Super, and yeah, that's how I see it as well.
Yeah, but yeah. Go on. What were your thoughts on the
Yeah,
show so far?
I dig it so far. I don't love it mostly because yeah, John Cena funny, but he only funny in small doses, and I kind of
Oh,
go
okay. So you see, he kind of annoys your times then.
a little bit. After a
All
while,
right.
I kind of get a little too much from it. I was like, all right, enough. Like I get the joke, you get it. You're annoying asshole. We get it. And they play with that. What they do it with what's her name? The
Leota.
right. What it is, I like her. She's great in this. What her conceit is, what she's about. It's a great misdirect, in the story. Like I love that because the way how she's framed as the most incompetent, and it's like, nope, that's not what's going on. And I really like what they're doing with her. And how she keeps that on the low, and then they reveal it, and they don't make it this big mystery, but still, all most of not all of the other characters don't know what's going on, right? And I really enjoying what they're doing with that.
Yeah,
Um,
I forgot to mention the character that I'm a bit iffy with so far is Clemson Drake. Like I understand he trying to be the tough Amanda Waller type character, but he
right,
goes about it in a kind of weird way. So it kind of makes him stiff, but like he trying to be stiff, but so it makes him seem kind of awkward. But he's
right.
always kind of pushed to just kind of lose his cool now. You know what I mean? At any given moment.
Yeah, I'll say it just somebody like action and the setups not that interesting. Like that is the part with this character. She had a Barney fight, but like that felt so contrived because the fella decided to come across stuff like, what do you say to my friend? And like, why would he do that? Well,
Yeah,
well,
that's
it,
a TV show moment. Like we
right,
don't
right.
we
It
have to
just
have the fight,
it just right to give she a scene to show that she's a badass, right? But I don't have a problem with that as it is. But yeah, the problem is that Cena had to hold the show, and I get what they're doing with him, the arc of the toxic masculinity thing. He just kind of clueless, and he not really self-aware of his actions and whatever. It's a little bit of a dumbass. They play the jokes okay, not great, but some of the jokes fall flat for me, but some of it still work. But it's still fine for what it is. I enjoy most of it. Um, honestly, I'm not super interested in the main plot. Like these butterfly things are not too much care about it. I really want to see how they're going to sort out the dad. That's the most interesting part, to be honest. So that's about it. Yeah, I'm digging it so far. I'm not loving it, but I'm digging it so far. right? It feels like Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad movie we just watched, but not as tight as that film was in terms of the humor. But still good. Like I still enjoying it for what it is.
Right. But yeah, we're supposed to get 4 more episodes of this. So yeah, here's hoping that well, sorry, I seen four, 5 more episodes actually. So yeah, here's hoping that the story, continues its momentum, gets better, uh, if anything, and yeah, we get a great series out of this one.